Good morning. It is May 23rd, 2015, Memorial Day weekend. Just wanted to catch up with you, make sure we're on the same page. This is for Special Ed 514, my summer 10-week class. If you have any questions, please email me. I'll be happy to give you a phone call. We can do a Skype conversation. I don't want you to be confused. Most of you are keeping up on the video lectures and the reading. Good. You do not want to get behind because things are going to be progressing right along. Starting week 3, we have an assignment each week, so please make sure you stay up with things. Today I want to just go over our first assignment, the SRE lesson plan template, and you'll see a nice little YouTube there. I have given you a scaffold, so we're just going to go over it, not a real long one. Make sure you put your name on the top of all assignments that you put in the Dropbox, of course. I have given you the purpose statement or learning goal for this, so you can just keep that as the same. I have given you the behavioral objective for this lesson plan. Students will be able to identify and describe 2 interesting or important events from the story. I can say yes or no at the end of the lesson plan, all right? And I have given you the assessment. After reading, students will be asked to identify 2 interesting or important events from the story, etc., etc. You can read that. So this is a scaffold. It's an idea or pedagogical strategy that you want to use in your classroom instead of having you design the whole lesson plan from scratch. Knowing this is probably your first one, I've given you scaffolds, so I'm having you only do part of it. Materials, resources, you will have to put in stuff here depending on what you do for your pre-reading activity, all right? You'll have to describe the pre-reading activity. Now, the purpose of this is to get them ready to read the story so they can read it by themselves and then get out of the way, 2 to 5 minutes in duration. Provide them the structure so they can successfully read. And I have 5 possibilities there. As you're describing this, you have to picture a substitute teacher. Could that teacher pick it up and reenact your lesson plan from what you have there? That's the level of detail that you need. I recommend you use outline form, step 1, step 2, step 3, with short abbreviated sentences. That way you're easily able to see the structure instead of writing in paragraph form. Short abbreviated sentences just so we can see the structure of what you're doing. If you are going to include a story map or a character map, make sure that you give an example of that. And again, picture a substitute teacher does not know what the heck is going on, so you need to have everything right there so that teacher can come up and make it work. That's the level of detail, the level of thinking through things that you need to have on your lesson plans. Always make a link or a bridge from the pre-reading to the story. Okay, this is a story about, in this story this will happen, let's read to find out. All right, make some link. The during reading describes exactly how students will be reading the story. And you've got 2 options, silent reading or buddy reading. These are described unto you in the readings and mini lectures. And again, make sure that you can hand this to a substitute teacher or a classmate and they would know exactly what to do. And then the post-reading activity, all right? Designed to get students to manipulate, become engaged. Students will be able to identify what they think are 2 interesting or important events. Assume that there will be students at varying levels. I recommend that you brainstorm what students think are interesting or important. All right, list these on the boards and then have students select, describe, or illustrate too. You decide exactly how this should happen. Maybe they'll have a reading journal or a log or a creative writing. And again, this is open-ended for you to decide how you think this should happen. And let's look back. Students are about in 2nd grade, all right? So it has to be very basic and concrete. Most students tend to go over the top when they're first planning lesson plans, so keep it at that 2nd grade level, all right? And it's open-ended for you as well as far as how you want to design this. So open-ended for students, they decide which events they think are interesting or important. Remember our goal, our objective, students will be able to identify and describe 2 interesting or important events from the story. So everything that follows should help students achieve that behavioral objective. So as a post-reading activity, they have to decide what they think are interesting or important events from the story. And here's the thing. When we read a story, we all find different things that are interesting or important. All right? So that's the idea of narrative text. The purpose is to read and enjoy the story. That's the ultimate purpose. And you have your nice reading lesson plan criteria. And there is a Dropbox that I'll be preparing. All right, that's it. I hope you have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. I hope even more that you're staying up with the reading and mini lectures.